Okay. So, family, you know that I shared that poo-pooey chicken recipe, yes, and I used half a chicken and I've got the remaining half. Let's go into the kitchen and let's use up that remaining half. And I'll be using the Hola barbecue rub. Yes, it's so versatile. It's not just for the barbecue. Let's make some beautiful sauce. Let's do some shingdings, shenanigans, keche, osadeng, abanuka.
Hello again and welcome to Ndudu by Fafa.
Family, now let's make the Senegalese-inspired Mafé, which is the peanut butter stew recipe. Yes, this is a quick, no fuss, bish bash bosh with the Hola barbecue rub, and you're good to go. I have covered the traditional Mafé recipe in a previous video, and I will leave a link in the description box so you can familiarize yourself with it. Now, moving on, what I'll be doing or using will be my peanuts, and these are raw peanuts that I'm just going to slow roast in the oven. Equally, you can just use your normal roasted peanuts, unsalted, I'd say, that you do get from the supermarket, and you're good to go. But I like to make everything from scratch, just to make sure that I can also control the salt content that goes into my dish, but also I know exactly what's in my meal. So, of course, after clay roasting this in the oven for about 15 to 20 minutes at 130 degrees, allowed it to cool down. My peanuts were ready for me to just peel, and here we have it. So the next thing is in my clay pot. As you can tell, I've got my onions, but here I've got the remaining half of the chicken. Now this is where the Hola barbecue rub comes into being, because it's so versatile, it's nutty, and it is made based on the West African spice blend, which of course one can use to grill their kebabs. So here I'm adding 2 to 3 tablespoonfuls of this beautiful aromatic rub, and I'm just rubbing it all over the chicken as you do. And if this is your first time, you're welcome. Thank you ever so much for tuning in. If you haven't subscribed yet, please do subscribe, and like the video, leave a comment or two, and share your experience when you do try the recipe. So after doing that, I've taken that out, and here I'm just adding 1 tin chopped tomatoes and some water to my onion mixture here. Now, the next thing is I'll be using my Holy Grail blend. Now, this is an all-purpose spice blend, which has things like the calabash nutmeg, the grains of salim. So it is an intense West African flavor. Absolutely. And of course, as you saw, I added my salt to taste. I mixed everything together, and then I brought the chicken back, and I've just allowed it to sit in here. Now, you can allow this to marinate for a minimum of an hour. Yes. And once it's ready, take it out, bring it up to room temperature, which takes about 10 to 15 minutes, and then you can place that in the oven. Now, yes, as previously, as you saw, I did, roast my peanuts, and now I've peeled it, and here I'm crushing it because I just need that crushed consistency. Exactly. Now, what's going to happen is we're going to make that beautiful tomato stew, but it's going to have the chunks of peanuts in. Others are just going to be like soft peanuts, and others are going to be crunchy. Yeah, so it's the texture and also biting into the flavors. At 180 degrees, the chicken and tomato sauce have slow cooked for about 20 minutes. And here I'm just checking for the consistency, and it's got enough liquid, and I'm happy with what I'm looking at. So at this point, I then sprinkle my peanut, or crushed peanut, may I say, over it. So some of the peanuts goes into the sauce, and others, of course, goes on top of the chicken. Now, bearing in mind, the Hola barbecue rub also includes peanut. Yes. And so that makes it all peanutty and just so yummy. At this point, I just drizzle a little bit of the Hola barbecue rub over the chicken, yes, just to remind the chicken of its flavor and its duty. And then, of course, I'm making a sauce rather than a stew here, so I need that consistency perfect. And I know very well that with the clay pot, I don't even need to worry about anything, because once it goes into the oven, it will regulate the temperature and cook everything to perfection, and I'd have that right consistency marmalade look that I'm looking for. After 25 minutes of baking in the oven at 180 degrees, you end up with this beauty. Now, I love this recipe. The reason being the acidity in the tomatoes actually, breaks the fat of the peanut, but it works equally well. And I just want to enjoy the flavor as it is. So I'm not going to add any herbs, but you have the option of doing so. And also some vegetables. But I'd rather make my vegetables on the side. That will be another recipe coming up. The best vegetables to serve with this beauty. Now, the second reason why I prefer baking this beauty is you notice that I omitted any oil from the recipe, but the fats from the peanut and also from the chicken have actually released themselves into the sauce, so you can see that little oil coming through. Now this, if you've got some flatbread, you're good to go. But then again, this is in Dubai Fafa. We like to do some shenanigans. So the next recipe, which is a one pot rice and plantain dish, absolutely is one that you need to watch. And if you've watched to this point, thank you ever so much. You're the real MVP in terms of support. Here we go. And here we have that consistency that I was talking about. And look at how moist and like soft that chicken is. So I served this with the peri-peri chicken and the rice with the plantain. And of course, the peanut sauce just going over it as it should. Yes, this was a flavor-packed dish. Now, as I mentioned, I'll leave a link in the description box with regards to the peri-peri chicken. So you can also try your hands on it. Definitely, you will find all the spice blends that have been used for this recipe on my website, buyndudu.com. And yes, I do ship to Europe, also to the UK, of course, and to America. So yes, you can definitely contact us and we'll be able to help you. Absolutely. Find traditional African recipes on my blog, indudubyfafa.blogspot.com. I'm also on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and Snapchat as Indudubyfafa. And I'm trying a thing or two with TikTok. Yes, you can pass by and say hi. Noel, thank you very much for my theme song. And on to my next recipe with you, kings and queens and beautiful people. Stay true to yourself. Love who you are. Be who you are. And you know what? Be loved for who you are. That's the best thing ever. And on to my next recipe. Take care of yourself. Toodles, thanks ever so much for watching. Peace out.